Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Real Talk. You're through to Tyrone, and you're also through to Bath Time. I hope you're all having a splendid evening. Tonight, we're going to be speaking about director James Wan's film Insidious. Um, it's a film that he has co-written with someone called Lee Wano, who is actually one of the characters in this film. The film was produced by Jason Blum, Steven Schneider, and Oren Peli, and it stars Patrick Wilson as Josh Lambert, Lee Wano as Specs, Rosie Byrne as Renee Lambert, Lynn Shay as Elise Rainier, and Ty Simpkins as Dalton Lambert. Those are the main characters. First of all, what did you think of the movie?
I didn't like it. It was too scary.
That's the whole point, though. It's a horror.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these sort of horrors. No, being serious, I think it is extremely effective at what it does. And if you want to go and watch a scary film with a girl in the cinema or something, I've got no complaints with this film. It's absolutely fine. It does some interesting things, but it runs into just a lot of problems that I have in third acts with horror films. Like I watched a film called Weapons that was really, really good for 25 minutes, and then it was crap after that. And I felt that about halfway through Insidious, it lost a lot of its impact for me. But for what it is, it's perfectly effective. And if you really like these types of films, which I don't, then I'm sure that you would enjoy it. And I hope that that's of use to someone.
Well, the first thing I did notice at the beginning of the film, you have this really long opening credit sequence, and you've got lots of screeching violins, and I thought that was quite effective. I'll be honest with you, I thought the opening credit scene went a bit too long. I'm one of them people that when I'm watching a film, I like it to kind of get into it quite quickly. And I think that's what I liked about Skeleton Key, is that you were kind of into it straight away. Yeah, that's one of my first criticisms of it. I wish they could have gone straight into it a bit more quicker. We want to know who's in the film afterwards. You don't have to tell us about everybody right at the beginning.
I disagree. I like a good setup. I love Alien and Aliens, as you know. I think that Alien is the perfect horror film, and it takes so long to sort of establish the characters and the world, and I really like that form of storytelling where you sort of whatever she's called, Jane Mum,
Renee.
Is that her name? Renee.
Renee, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, in this,
did you not recognize her?
Yeah, of course. I know it's Rose Byrne.
No, but you've seen her in Troy, right? You saw her in Troy as Briseis.
Yeah, I know who she.
Yeah. Okay,
no, cool. She is, but she's an actress, and I'm more interested in the character. And she's very nice to look at, but yeah. I think that I don't mind a very, very slow start to a film. In fact, for horror films, I kind of prefer it. And I think you're right, by the way, about the violins and stuff. I absolutely hate this style of filmmaking where I'm constantly waiting for something to jump out of the shadows at me. And I know that's what you kind of want in these type of horrors, but the thing is I just want to start fighting things. And I don't like that feeling. I want to punch stuff or run around, and it's not a conductive feeling for me. So I didn't enjoy this. But should we say hello to anyone who's kind enough to watch us, Taro?
I'll have a look. Big up people in the comments. Yeah, Agile Beast, how you doing, mate? Big up. It came out in 2011. It came out in 2010 in America, but in the UK it came out in 2011.
Yeah, shout out Agile Beast and Bilal.
Yeah, big up Bilal. Apparently my mic is a bit low. Let me try and see if I can sort that out. I think that's just me not speaking loud enough. I'll just speak a bit louder.
What did you have you guys seen this? What did you two think to this? Like Bilal says, Rose Byrne carries this film in his opinion. I'm not.
I think that's.
I disagree.
I think that's an interesting comment because I'll be honest with you. I think out of the two parents, I thought that her performance was strongest. I thought he was quite weak.
Well,
Patrick
yeah. This is something I wanted to. It's something I wanted to talk about in the first act, right? Because so we'll say that the first act goes until they move to the new house. Like so, in the first act, I was sort of like laughing a little bit because it was implied to me that they moved house on a Sunday, and then he had work the next day, and in the first couple of scenes, there was things like her going, "Oh, like remember you got the PTA meeting tomorrow," and he was kind of like, "Oh no, sorry, I'm working late, I can't do it," and things like that. And it seemed to me that it was going to be one of these films that focuses on a mother sort of protecting her son, and everyone thinks she's crazy. But about halfway through, they completely drop her as a character and they make him the main character. And I found that quite jolting, to be honest. Like, I would say that when the psychic arrives, Rose Byrne kind of falls off, like, out of the film.
Well, yeah, she's not in it as much.
Yeah, and it was an interesting choice because, I mean, like, this film is. Do you know the story of Orpheus and Eurydice?
I'm not. I've done. You'd be surprised. I'm not. I wouldn't know, but I've done it in theatre and stuff. But no, I'm not really familiar with it.
You've done it in theatre, but you don't know the story.
We had to do a chorus. We had to do like a monologue involving Oedipus, but you'll have to explain it to me.
Orpheus, not Oedipus.
Orpheus. No, I'm not. No, I don't know anything about Orpheus. No. You'd have to explain. Hello? Hello, can everyone hear me? I think we've lost Darius there. Can't hear him. Agile B, Bilal, can you guys hear me in the chat? Hello, Bathtime. We lost you there. What happened?
Sorry, my computer's crashed. I'm just turning my headphones on. I can't hear what you're saying at the moment. Windows 11, man.
Oh, God.
I can hear you now. Yeah, forgive me.
It's all right.
I hate Windows 11 so much. This is like, I hate it.
You're going to have to get a MacBook Pro.
No, I'm not going to have to get a MacBook Pro. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about Orpheus. Like, so I think you were talking about Oedipus, which is a different thing.
Yeah, got mixed up.
Yeah, no worries. It's all ancient Greek to me as well. Orpheus is the story of a guy who loved his wife, and when she died, he played the most beautiful music at a funeral. And Hades and Persephone, the kings and queen of the underworld, said, "You can go back and get them. You can go and get her, but you have to. You can't look back. You're going to play the music. She's going to follow you." And obviously, he looks back. So, like, she stays in the underworld, as it were. And in Act 1, there's all this stuff about the sheet music. Do you remember that? Like Rose Byrne's.
Yeah, well, she loves her. It's one of her hobbies, piano playing.
Well, I think it's a job, isn't it? Isn't it? It doesn't. Didn't she say that she like quit work to work on her music or something?
I think because she's like your stereotypical stay-at-home mother, she's got a lot of free time on her hands, so she's got a nice hobby, which includes playing.
Maybe
piano.
3 kids, that house, you need a lot of money for that. But yeah, like so looking back at this film in its totality, it is the story in some ways of Orpheus, like going to the underworld and trying to bring someone back. And it seems so crazy to me that they have this all set up for Rose Byrne to be the one to bring him out, as it were, but they don't go with it. And I found that a bit unsatisfying. Like the sheet music has no relevance in this film, apart from one of the ghosties, like putting it in the attic for some reason in the first act.
It's a shame. They could have actually linked the music to the spirits. Maybe it could have been a certain type of sheet music that invoked all the spirits. They missed a trick there for sure.
Well, I thought it would be the sheet music guiding the boy and his dad home. That's what I thought they were using it for.
Okay.
Like basically like Orpheus. And the other thing that puzzled me about this is like, because you would have known the ending. So on your rewatch, we reckon that Patrick Wilson's quite a weak character in this film. He's not very developed and he's not really there, is he? It's a bit of a sort of phoned in character. Do you think that's because he's kind of been, he's like repressed, isn't he? Literally in the film.
I'm wondering if he was asked to play it a bit weaker, because obviously you find out later on in the film that he has the same abilities to astral project as Dalton, his son. But you find out that he had a lot of therapy to kind of diminish that and to repress those memories. So perhaps the therapy that he's had as a kid has affected him.
Yeah, that's basically what I mean. Is because he's so vacant in this film.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bit where he says, "Oh, I can't come home, honey. I've got to mark papers at the school."
Yeah.
Take the papers home.
Yeah, I know. It's just avoidance though, because I think deep down it might not be. He might not know what it is, but he knows that. I think his subconscious doesn't want him to go back to that difficult past that he's had as a kid. So he's avoiding.
Because he doesn't like photos either.
Yeah,
like that's another thing. Yeah. So maybe that is kind of what they were doing. But like to Bilal's point about Rose Byrne carrying the film, I felt that she got dropped halfway through. Like, you know, she was a bench player basically from like 20 minutes into Act 2.
I agree with this comment with Bilal though. He's not an actor that I look at and think, wow, he doesn't impress me at all.
I don't think I've ever seen him in anything except for this and The Conjuring.
He doesn't. He's not one of them actors I look at and think, wow. I'll be honest.
What else has he been? He must have been in some other stuff.
He might have been in Planet of the Apes, but I could be wrong.
Oh, he's in Watchmen. I liked Watchmen.
Is he in Watchmen?
Yeah, he's the sort of Batman one in Watchmen.
Is he in Ant-Man?
In Ant-Man?
Is he in Ant-Man? I'm not sure.
No.
Okay.
He could be, actually. Let me check. He's in a lot of crap, basically. He just seems to do these kind of horror films. He's in, like, Annabelle, The Nun, The Conjuring, Insidious 2. He's in Prometheus.
I don't know. Do you remember there's a scene, obviously, where, it's where after Dalton's had the fall, because he goes exploring early on in the film and he climbs the ladder in the attic and he ends up taking a fall.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, his dad's trying to wake him up before he goes to work because he's got to take him to school. And he's saying, Dalton, wake up, wake up. And I'm thinking, gosh, you'd be a lot more concerned than that if you're trying to wake up your son and he's not waking. I'm just thinking, is it just your acting or you just... He's so wooden, you know? There's no... I don't get the feeling.
I can tell you the funniest bit in the film to me, like, unintentionally funny is when they've got Dalton set up in his coma bed, like in the house, and the nurse like is talking to Rose Bryan, and she's looking at a child, and she goes, "I just sometimes think that these things are sent to break me," and I found that
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious. Like that took me out a little bit from the film, because it was no one would say that. No one would be concerned about themselves over their child.
Well, it's just like it's a bit self-indulgent because she says to the nurse, "It feels like the universe is bending me,
Yeah,
like
that's the
bending me
yeah.
to see how far it can bend me until I break." And then the nurse turns around and says, "You've got this girl. The universe doesn't know who it's messing with." And I'm thinking, "You've only known her 5 minutes. How the hell do you know if she can if she can take on whatever's gonna come to her? You don't even know the woman." And it's just
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I did laugh because I thought I didn't understand that bit of dialogue there. So I'm glad you brought that bit up.
We've got some. I haven't. Have you seen a film called Hard Candy?
No, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I believe it's when Ellen Page Ellen Page when he was Ellen Page. But yeah.
She okay? She's Elliot Page now, apparently.
Yeah, she's Elliot Page
now. All right, fine. Right, do you want to talk about the first act then? Although these two still haven't told us if they enjoyed the film or not.
We can go through the first act. I noticed in that first scene when they're in bed and all the snoring, I'm thinking to myself, she gets up to come out of the bed. I'm thinking, wow, yeah. If someone was snoring that loudly next to me, that would wake me up as well.
It was a bit.
I can't stand snoring. So
I know. I mean, the relationship is it's so strange in this film.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't want to sort of like criticize. Like, I suppose it's not other people's relationships; it's a fictional one. But I've just never seen anything like it. To be honest, it's normally you get a very sort of traditional, relationship. And there's kissing, and if you get us some milk, and we've got this meeting, then we're going to go and see Jack and Jill next week, and all that kind of stuff. And in this, at the start of the film, I've got to be honest, I wondered if this was going to be like The Sixth Sense, and he was dead, and that he was a ghost, because it was just so. He didn't interact with anyone except for her. And he just didn't seem to do anything. Like, you've just moved into a new house. And he's not even helping put the books away. And then they have this really weird scene in bed. Like, I don't know. I'm probably going to be really, really unkind, but it felt like it was written by someone who'd never been in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree. That's what it felt like watching it to me. Just no affection whatsoever. No kiss before he goes to work, all that sort of stuff. It's just, I know when you're an actor and stuff, you're working with a complete stranger you've not worked with before, but there's got to be some kind of like chemistry with you and the actress on the film, and I don't sense any chemistry between these two. It's basically chalk and cheese. They don't go together.
Yeah, but it's kind of implied throughout the film as well, like where he just like, I don't know. It's just a really, really weird first act, because all you're looking to establish, right, is that things are a bit weird. They're a nice family, like that you can relate to that family, and there's something spooky's going on in the house. And yet all this crazy stuff just goes on in the first 25 minutes, like. Like at one point, you've seen Lord of the Rings, haven't you?
Yeah.
There's a character in it called Wormtongue, who he talks to King Theoden of Rohan, and he looks a bit like Loki. He's got like really sort of black long hair. And white
he's a
face.
brilliant character.
Yeah, well, he just suddenly started running around the house in the first act, and I was like. Well, I was like, okay, so right, the ghosts, okay, these are ghosts or something, and they can walk about. and they can interact. He was standing over a crib or something like that, and then it
Yeah.
turns out he's not. I just don't know what they were doing, to be honest. Because all right, fine, something creepy, but we get all these ghosts and like no real stories or like no. Like, I mean, the end of the film is just like literally random ghosts turning up.
Yeah.
And I was,
yeah. Well, I've written it down. Like, you know, quite entertaining. Lots of jump scares within the movie, but ultimately a lot of stuff like thrown together to kind of make people jump, but no real thought put behind it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Big up, Tully.
Big up Tully. Yeah, big up Tully. Football movies and quizzes.
Yeah. So when I think about the first act, I think actually it's okay. It's a bit silly. It's a bit messy, but you get a sense of tension. You get tension between Rose Byrne and Patrick Wilson. The kid, he gets into a coma. It's highlighted that the attic is where the kind of epicenter of the spookiness is, with both. That's where he hits his head, and that's where the sheet music goes. And but you also get a time jump in the first act, which I don't like. I've got to be honest.
3 months.
Yeah, like where he's been in a coma for 3 months, and I remember the doctor. Like, I love it in films where doctors just go, "We don't really know what's going on." To be honest, like I really wish they'd tell that to me sometimes. But I don't know. It sort of like it chugged along, and I had no problems. And then there's enough kind of scary stuff going on, but I've got to say at this point, I was more scared of the violins and the jump cuts than I was by any sort of like of the creeping horror that we've seen in Skeleton Key or in The Serpent and the Rainbow.
They give you a lot of clues, don't they? Obviously, you've got Dalton. Like in one of the first scenes, he comes to his mum and he says, "Look, I don't like my room." So that gives you kind of a sense of, he doesn't like the new place where he's moved to. And then you've got the baby crying all the time, which
was annoying.
gives you a clue. It was annoying at the beginning because you're thinking, "Oh, for crying out loud." But then when you get the voice, because obviously there's a bit where the voice is over the baby monitor, that I found that was quite scary. The first time I watched it, quite creepy. Yeah, I thought that was very good actually how they did that.
Yeah, I mean, no issues with any of this. I think, as I say, I think this is a perfectly fine horror film, and I think what it's really good at is tension, and not so good at delivering on that tension. Although, as I told you, it's got the best jump scare I've ever seen.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah, absolutely world class.
It got me as well, to be honest. But even before that, so I know I'm trying to figure out where we are in the story, but there's obviously a bit where Renee goes to the room to obviously see the baby in the crib, and she can see the face.
Of Loki.
Yeah, so she can see that face, and it's like that was another jump scare for me because I'm thinking you can't quite actually see what it is. I think that's what made it scary. The fact that it wasn't. It got less scary when you finally did see everything that was a bit more revealing later on. I thought it was more scary earlier on where we couldn't quite see what it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more because a lot of the actors that they used for the ghosts are not physically imposing enough for me not to think I could have them.
Mm.
Like Darth Maul or whatever the hell that thing was.
Yeah.
That's
exactly what it looks like. It did
not
look like Darth. It looked too much like Darth Maul. I think that's what made me laugh when I first saw it.
Yeah. Like later on when you see it like having its little sort of party by itself, I was thinking I'd absolutely smash this thing up. No problems. And I wanted to at that point of so full attention. But yeah, I think that what Act 1 does that Act 2 fails is in Act 2 they do this thing where they hold the camera for quite a long time showing you silhouettes. And I think that the impact diminishes when it does that. I think that just seeing glimpses is much better. And the
Yeah.
one at the crib scared me.
That was scary. That's the scariest
Yeah.
one for me. Yeah.
No. The one in the kitchen is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, is that the one where Josh's mum is explaining to Renee about
Yeah.
her nightmare?
Yeah.
It scared me only because you didn't see it coming.
I think that's the
scary
best
per
jump
se.
scare I've ever seen. I did literally jump up, karate pose, Bruce Lee. Let's go.
It was a good scene, but I like it when we come later on. Obviously, have we gone to the new home yet? No, we'll get there.
Should we just get to the new home?
Yeah, so obviously they move to the new home later on, and you see Josh's mother. So she's explaining her nightmare, and obviously
No,
she's
we got the
explaining-
chimney sweep before that. That was bloody
Have we?
stupid.
the
Yeah.
chimney sweep.
Right. So what happens is that like they go to Rose Bryan has a breakdown, doesn't she? And she demands that they move.
Yeah,
And then they move.
yeah.
Right. And then and then they're in the new house, and she's it's a long tracking shot of her walking through the house. And when I was watching it, I said to Sarah, was that a little boy in the corner? Like,
oh yes, in the period clothing.
yeah, and then there's and then there's a chimney sweep, like running around, like giggling and laughing. I'm like, this is not scary, man. This is just an annoying kid. Like,
it's a playful ghost, isn't it? It's the spirit of a young kid who's died, but more playful than anything.
Yeah, but it was like, I suppose. Do you know what? Do you know how it works? I suppose, right? Is it does kind of subvert the expectation, which is that a common criticism you'll give to haunted house films, just leave, and they do in this, and then you know they show that actually it follows you around. So I suppose that's all right. And you got to remember this is 15 years ago, so like was Paranormal Activity around the same sort of time?
I think it was. I think you obviously had things like The Conjuring, you had Saw that had come out before it. So you had quite a lot of stuff that had come out. But for me, the child running around, that didn't really scare me. But at the same time, I thought it added a bit of variety because it kind of showed you that, you know, you've got spirits that are following Dalton around, but that they're not all, you know, malevolent. Some of them are kind of playful spirits. So I thought that added a good bit of variety. I didn't mind that at all.
Well, yeah, maybe it just did remind me of The Conjuring, which I've seen before. Where, I mean, this actually kind of the whole film actually feels like a kind of like the prototype for The Conjuring, which basically has a very sort of similar setup of ghost hunters, very little. No emphasis on religion, which I thought was also quite interesting. Which is that, like, when you're dealing ghosts in the afterlife, you think, right, there's going to be a religious element to this, and instead they went for a sort of pseudo-scientific explanation, which I suppose at the time was different. I know there's a priest in this very briefly, but you would normally think that we're looking at an exorcism or something next. And they didn't go down that. I thought it was interesting that there's absolutely nothing about that. You know, they say demons when the demon is quite clearly meant to be the devil.
Yeah.
But like the chimney sweep, man. I mean, come on, it's just goofy. That
it looked more like Azazel to me. Azazel, one of the other, looked like Mephistopheles. I don't know if you're familiar with Christopher Marlowe's work.
I am very familiar with Christopher Marlowe's work.
It reminded me of like Mephistopheles when he comes to.
What is he out offering deals? Is he?
It's just mad, you know. Creatively, though, obviously we laugh when you said Darth Maul, but looking back at the film, it's like you could put Darth Maul and that demon next to each other, and they'd be twins. So
yeah,
I'm
Darth
thinking
Maul is meant to be the devil, isn't it?
Perhaps. Well, it's just a Sith, isn't it? But I'm just wondering what goes through you creatively when you're making a film. Surely you've seen Star Wars. You will know that the character you're creating looks like Darth Maul. So why not go for something different? Not that I'm an expert, by the way, but I'm just saying.
I don't like, to be honest. They might have had this idea for many years or whatever, and it just look it works. I think. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, but red for an evil demon, no problems. It's just that it's so similar to Darth Maul. Like like oh, like, what is Obi-Wan going to turn up next, or Yoda going to turn out to be the chimney sweep?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Bilal is saying that this reminded him a little bit of Poltergeist. I see where it's coming from. Have you seen Poltergeist? Yeah.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it. I'd have to watch it.
It's actually decent. It's decent. It's kind of like it's about kids getting sucked into the telly.
God, how about I've heard of something similar. I might have watched it when I was a kid. I'd have to watch it again.
Yeah, it's decent. But I'm fairly I mean, we're watching another horror film this week, but I'm fairly done with horror after this. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, so am I. I'm done with it now as well. But I kind of look back and think maybe I should have gave you some different horrors. Maybe I could have gave you something a bit more interesting. But you live and you learn.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I actually quite enjoyed the Serpent and the Rainbow, and this. I think this is good. It's just not my type of film because you know that flight or fight response that people have. Yeah, mine is fight. Like, so watching these films, I like afterwards. I'm proper tense and ready for fighting and things, and I don't like that feeling. And I think that these kind of horror films that are basically just built around jump scares, they're obviously really effective and people like them and stuff. But for me, they don't really live. Like this film hasn't lived with me. I haven't been at night thinking about, oh no, what happens if Darth Maul comes for me? You know, or like, you know, that weird, oh no, an old woman with a candle, shiver me timbers. What am I going to do?
Yeah, the villains in this film, they're not, you know, like you get iconic villains in certain horrors. The villains are not iconic. But when you get before Elise comes, obviously you get Elise's experts who come. I think it's Specs and Tucker and Specs. They come to the house, and one of them uses the cameras to kind of take pictures within the home. And that shot of the two girls, the freaky looking girls, that was quite scary.
That was scary.
Yeah, that was a good
one. Do you know the one I really liked in this is when they were showing the photographs with the older woman getting closer. I thought that was really cool.
That was good. See, things like that you didn't mind. Do you know what I mean? It was quite, obviously, it's insidious, isn't it? It's scary. It's frightening. And that's what you like.
That's much more my kind of horror. And there was something else I thought was quite good. I really like the bit where she's describing Darth Maul and it's just showing a blank corner. Like, you know, they're looking up at like the ceiling and she's going, he's got a lightsaber, he's red, don't like his eyes, he looks angry, and there's this like Specs or whatever is frantically drawing away. I think when someone can see something that no one else can, I think that's inherently quite scary.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can understand why. Worst one was Baba Hotep. You can do one, Bilal. Baba Hotep is levels above this film. Levels.
I think for what I like about Insidious, obviously, it's the jump scares and it's entertaining. Obviously, the cinematography is really good as well. We can't knock the cinematography in this film. You know?
No, it's like, do you know the expression, the difference between an artisan and a craftsman? Or tradesman, rather. A tradesman just puts out a product, right? And it does what it says on the tin. And an artisan tries to create something unique, like a one-off. And this is a very tradesman film. where let's get the jump scares in, let's make it kind of interesting, let's put in 2 like comedy relief characters, let's have lots of stuff happening in the 3rd act. It's like you can't ask for your money back if you go to the cinema and watch this film, because it ticks all the boxes of everything you want. So on that metric, I think it's perfectly fine. But as a film, I don't think it's very good.
I forgot to mention some of the imagery that was quite interesting. But first off, obviously, when we first have all the crazy stuff happening in the house, I thought the use of the alarm, although it was a bit repetitive, I thought that was quite scary. The fact that it just kept going off all the time. And we got the bloody bedsheet with the handprint on it.
Oh, actually, that's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got the hands. Obviously, you've got the mirror, you've got the window outside, and it shows the hands coming in. I thought that was good imagery.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. That was. You're right. The bedsheet stuff was good. It did remind me of Lord of the Rings, though.
Yeah.
With the the white hand of Saruman. But I think that's quite good. But one of the reasons I didn't think it worked as well is because the kid's kind of gone at this stage, and it's like, I know they're after its body. Why? No idea. But they want to come and live in the realm of the living. But I think it would work better if this was more, if it had been established a little bit earlier on that they're after the body. Although what I will give this credit for is the twist is in the 2nd act, which is something that I actually quite like, because twists that happen in the 3rd act are just kind of smoke and mirrors a lot of the time.
But
to do it in the 2nd act changes things.
Shall I tell you what got me with the bloody bedsheet, though? I was looking at it and thinking, okay, that's good imagery. But I don't know if you thought this, but didn't you think to yourself, like, why hasn't the nurse spotted this before the mum has? Or did that not come into it for you?
I didn't think about that, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
It might be trying to be implied. It's quite similar to the skeleton key, isn't it? When he writes "help me" on the sheet.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're all talking about Angel Heart again.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it.
I don't know, because I would like to watch. Like, The Thing is, like, you haven't seen The Thing, have you?
But Lyle's making me laugh because he's saying watching Bubba Hotep was torturous for him.
Lyle can do one. Like, he didn't even watch it. He watched 30 minutes of it and was like, oh, no jump scares or whatever. Like, Bubba Hotep is a beautiful film. And it's a cult classic, and there are far more people who love it than people who don't like it. In fact, there's only one, which is you, Bilal. But fair enough. Like, if you don't like a film, you don't like a film. I don't know. Do I like this film? I'll tell you what, Tyrone. If the film
it was a good idea for me.
If it finishes where the seance is, even though that was a bit goofy, having the World War II gas mask on, I think that up until then, the film was pretty good, and then it goes off the rails after the seance scene and becomes silly.
Yeah.
And nothing scared me after the seance.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the first time I watched it, once we kind of got past the seance bit and all the scary stuff at the beginning, it did. And obviously the bit where Josh has gone into the further realm to get his son, and they were both running away from the Red Demon, that it did get a bit silly. It kind of reminded me of Jeepers Creepers a little bit. I was laughing a bit more than I should be.
Maybe. I quite like Jeepers Creepers, to be honest, especially the second one. I just think that, like, look, up until then, I think it's really good. I thought it was quite interesting having this team come in later on. Specs and what's called Tubby.
Tucker. Well, we can call him Tubby if you want.
Tucker's fine. It means the same thing, doesn't it? And I thought that the psychic was really good, that older woman.
Take care, mate. The psychic. That's Elise.
Yeah, Elise. I thought she was really good as an actress.
Great actress. Yeah.
I thought the mum was pretty good as well, to be honest.
Well, when she's explaining like the past and stuff, and then she sees the demon behind Josh, that's frightening. She plays it really well.
Well, you see, I didn't find that frightening because he's in the corner and he's so slender and fightable that
I think it's because I wasn't expecting it. It wasn't because it's scary to look at. It's just because I didn't expect it.
Maybe, but it's they hold it too long. Was my problem with it. Like, I've got no issues with this like filmmaking technique of having a figure, a sort of a figure silhouetted so you can't quite see it properly at the end of a corridor or something like that, and it's just staring at you. That's obviously very creepy, but it was too close. There was too much detail, and I was like, stuff more
loses its power. See, that's why the first one by the crib. That's the reason why the first one behind the crib is frightening, because you can look at it, but you don't know what it is. You just know that it's a figure of something dark. It's a dark entity. You have no idea what it is, and that's what gives it the power. Once we start to see it, like in front of us, and we know what it is, it does lose.
Mate, in the third act, when it is pissing about in its little room, sharpening its claws and looking out the window and stuff, it's just a pantomime at that point.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the problem that I have with a lot of these films. Is the first half, I hate it because it's doing its job. It's scary and I don't like it. And then it's almost like I get completely desensitized to it because that's all it is. It's just parlor tricks. And the second one of those parlor tricks doesn't work, like the chimney sweep ghost. I just feel that like everything kind of comes tumbling down. And the third act is a disaster for me. I was not impressed.
I think this film had like a budget of over $1 million, and I think when you've got that much money to play with, sometimes you'll put certain special effects in, and you'll think, oh, let's make it this, let's make it that, just to kind of enhance it. Well, sometimes less is more. Sometimes the more stuff that you spend it diminishes the film. It has the opposite effect.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind bad special effects. I mean, I think there's one in this where it starts like running along a wall or something. I don't really care because the special effect, in my opinion, should be in your head. Just for example, I think there's a great one in Jurassic Park where before you see the T-Rex, like there's water shaking in a cup. And that gets you like imagining stuff. In this, I don't need to see Darth Maul running down a wall. Just not bothered really. And I certainly didn't need to see all this weird stuff that they had with like. I don't want to use the word incorrectly, but I'm fairly sure it's like a transvestite ghost. Like there's three sisters, one of which is a transvestite with a shotgun. And I've no doubt that they probably explained this in Insidious 7 or something. But I don't need this in the third act. Like, you're going to get your son.
I don't think I mind spoiling it for you because I don't know when you're going to watch Insidious 2.
I'm not going to watch it, no.
Obviously. So basically, the evil female spirit that is possessing Josh throughout the whole film and throughout when he was a child as well, you find out in Insidious 2 that that's a man and he likes to dress up as a woman.
Right.
So
okay.
That's basically. So when you said that, I thought, yeah, that's why you've thought that, because it is basically a man who likes to cross-dress. That's what you find out in the second one, that it's not actually a woman at all, but it's a man.
What, the one that possesses him?
So at the end, that is a man, but you find out in the second film that it's a man who likes to cross-dress and put wigs on and dresses.
No, I'm talking about the weird family. You know, like the two sisters that Specs and Tubby saw.
Oh,
like, one of them is quite clearly a man in woman's clothing.
I'd have to watch it again.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, what are we doing here, lads? Like,
it did look freaky though. I didn't like it. It looked freaky as hell.
I just thought it was silly. And The bit that I thought, oh, now this might be interesting, is when he starts fighting Loki outside the.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now we can find out we can punch ghosts. So let's start punching ghosts. What are they going to do?
But yeah, when you see Loki in the room when he goes and approaches Rosie Byrne's character, that again it kind of lost that power for me because obviously, all right, it's scary someone's in your room, but it's not a ghost; it's just a man, isn't it? It loses it for me. It loses that power. It loses what made it scary at the beginning.
That's a great. Have we got a question?
Oh,
who's the best footballer turned actor?
Eric Cantona.
That's actually probably he's done bits, hasn't he? Like recently.
Yeah. I'd say Eric Cantona. Peter Crouch is a good actor. I like him in adverts. He's really good. He's a natural.
Well, there's Vinnie Jones, who I think is quite good at what he does. Yeah,
Vinnie Jones is good.
Do you know that Doctor Who was a footballer, wasn't he? Matt Smith.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, yes, he was. He was. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I knew someone who played with him.
Gordon Ramsay was a good footballer as well, apparently.
Yeah, he was at Rangers, wasn't he?
There's been a few.
I'm trying to think of who the worst footballer actor is, and it's probably Bex in it.
I've not seen him in anything.
He was in Goal.
Oh, was he?
Oh, Agile Beast has brought up one of my favourite ones. It's Frank LaBeouf. Frank LaBeouf. Do you know the Stephen Hawking film, A Brief History of Time?
No, I haven't seen it. Is he in it?
Yeah, for some reason, Frank LaBeouf is the doctor that tells Stephen Hawking that he's got MS or whatever he has. And it was just really weird watching footballer. It.
He was a brilliant footballer, Frank LaBeouf.
Frank LaBeouf? It's all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a brilliant footballer.
Desai was good.
Yes, Desai was a brilliant footballer.
And I used to love Dan Prochescu.
I did as well, because I had a very clever joke about pitch rescue. But I can't remember it anymore. Chelsea one. Sean Connery was a footballer, was he? Had a good build, didn't he, Sean Connery? He was like 6'2" or something. He'd been a decent midfielder.
There's another young actor who I met years ago in 2006, and he was in Sinners. He played football at a young age. Jack O'Connell.
The Irish guy.
Yeah, he played football as a young kid. He was good. Very good.
He was also very good in Sinners. He's playing Jimmy Savile in 29 Months Later or whatever the next one is. Yeah, it might be called The Bone Temple.
A lot of people won't agree with me, but in Sinners, I know we're doing a different film tonight, but for me, in Sinners, he was the best thing about that whole film.
By far.
He was the best out of... He outshone everybody. So it was good to see.
Yeah, it's like excellent. Like he was really good role as well. In this, I think that the psychic is the only one I thought played an interesting role, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, I thought she was the best. She was my favourite in the whole film.
Patrick Wilson was just dead.
He was terrible, man. I don't normally do that. I don't normally go in on professional actors when I'm being honest on this. I'm going to be honest talking to you. I didn't rate him at all. You're just wooden throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if the kid was good or not, and he just didn't have a lot to do, really, I suppose. So he was all right, I think.
You know what was weird? The other son, Foster, the other kid, Foster, he just disappears throughout the whole film.
And the little girl as well.
Yeah, what's all that about?
I don't know. It's just, as I say, like, I think that this is like this felt like a proof of concept film more than anything. Like filmed very, very cheaply. Although I have to say, I absolutely love Saw as a film. I think it's almost like a play. I think it's a great two-hander with a
fantastic franchise as well because of all the other
to
films.
be honest, I've only seen Saw.
Okay, you should watch all the others. They're good.
But it's like 15 or something, isn't there?
You'll enjoy them.
No, I won't. They'll just get progressively more gory and things.
They get better.
All right, maybe I'll consider it. But I mean, You know, I was going to tell you that I'd found out about this film released in 1973 called Sorcerer that we should watch. But so I'm not. No, I'm not watching all of these Saw films. Um, the last horror film we're doing for a while will be The Thing, and it is truly disgusting, Tyrone. The Thing, but there's a lot more to it. Like it is honestly, it is fucking hideous, that film.
You'll be sad to know they're making a remake. Apparently,
They made the remake.
no, I think they're going to do another one.
Well, the Thing itself is a remake.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, just so obviously that's our film for next week is The Thing. Make sure you watch the one from the 80s with Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Like there's one from like 2011, I think, and it's based on a film called Who Goes There or something from the 50s, which I have seen, which is very good for a 50s film. But make sure it's Kurt Russell playing a character called MacReady.
Okay. I wanted to ask you if you'd seen another film someone suggested to me the other day. I'd never seen it, and I was shocked when he told me what it was about. But it's basically, obviously you've got Hunger Games, but the Hunger Games writer got her idea from this film.
A Battle Royale?
Yeah, I've not seen it. Apparently, it's amazing.
I've not seen it either.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine to watch Battle Royale. I do really, really want to see Parasite though at some point.
Oh, it's amazing. Parasite is one of the best films I've ever seen.
Yeah. I don't know how I haven't seen it, but I really want to see that. I also really want to see the war films, like Full Metal Jacket, and there's
17's amazing. Yeah, Full Metal
I've
Jacket
seen 1917.
Oh, I love that film.
I thought it was all right. Like, it just a bit gimmicky with like just one kind of tracking shot.
I don't know. I think that's what made it interesting though, because you don't normally see that. It's normally a bit more varied.
Yeah, I suppose so, but it just kind of felt like it reminded me of a Nike advert where, like, do you know the one where like this guy gets his teeth knocked out and he like scores a winner against Arsenal or something? He's playing for United, and it's all done POV. It just reminded me of that for some reason.
Another one.
Let's do the score for this. Give me the score.
6.
Really?
6 out of 10. Obviously, I wanted to choose something that I could critique, and I wanted something that you could critique. It's a good film. Just it's let down by obviously the lead actor and maybe Darth Maul and things like that. I'll give it a good 6 out of 10. Plenty of jump scares, very entertaining, but yeah, 6 out of 10.
Look, as a film, I'd give it 3 out of 10. But because of what it is and the expectations you have, I think it's probably above average, and I'm happy to give it 6 out of 10 as well. Like, if you want to go to the cinema with a girl to watch a scary film, this is probably a bit above average, isn't it?
Yeah. So, this is definitely the one.
Yeah, so I think 6 out of 10 is fine. And this is also like from that kind of period in time where now we've got like more metaphorical horror films. And this is like, look, there's no hidden meaning. We thought a bit about doing the story of Orpheus, but we couldn't be bothered. This is just a horror film. There's nothing there, nothing underneath it. It's just technical horror. And I think that's fine. You know, it's like an action film, isn't it? Like, I've never seen The Beekeeper, but I bet you if you go and watch Jason Statham film at the cinema, you get exactly what you expect.
It did. I think the thing I liked about it was the astral projection side of it, because obviously it was something I'd not really kind of known about or looked into before this film. And obviously, I don't know if you've ever had those dreams. You know, when you're in a dream, but you know you're in a dream. They call it lucid dreaming.
Yeah,
I've had them a few times. So I think from that aspect, I found it quite interesting. And obviously, you know, you sometimes get them people who decide to do ayahuasca in Peru, and they say that they are able to come out of their body and see themselves and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah,
from
but they
that
don't
side of
really
it,
explore
interesting.
it, do they?
No, they could have explored it more. I think that's why I've given it only a 6. I think there was so much to make this film a better film, but I think they focused on putting too many. I think they focused too much on like making Darth Maul the centerpiece at the end, and it ruined it a bit. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
because I think you're right. It would have been. Imagine if like he hadn't got into a coma until like the midpoint of the second act,
Yeah,
but you're kind of aware that he's being tempted or he's being
yeah,
manipulated. The kid.
yeah,
That would probably be like. I think I'd find that more scary. And there's also, I mean, I don't really care about things that don't make sense, but how are the ghosts like wandering around the house?
exactly. Yeah,
Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Like it, and it doesn't matter because it's all it is trying to do is trying to be scary at that point. And then I suppose it's quite interesting that they switch the main character out and get a new one, and it turns into "I Love You, Dad" film where he's got to go
yeah,
into hell and save his kid. And I just think it would be much. I think it'd just be much better if Rose Byrne had stayed the main character, and
yeah.
it had been about her getting her kids back instead of basically giving up agency to her husband and to this team of psychics and her mother-in-law.
He's far too, as a main character, he's far too weak. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he matched her energy, and I think that's what kind of messed it up for me.
Yeah, and
He
I
needed a
also
better
didn't
lead.
like the ending particularly.
Yeah, because you've got like Elise, who's one of the most strongest characters you're going to get in it. So the fact that you see her die at the end, you're thinking to yourself, that's what a waste that is. Because she would have been good to have for the films that come later. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't like cliffhangers in. I don't like films that are quite obviously setting themselves up for sequels when it's the first one.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if
You
it's
feel
like,
cheated. You feel kind of cheated, don't you? Because you're like,
yeah,
oh
it's
my god, I'm
just
gonna have to watch another one.
yeah, like the third act
Yeah.
is literally like, look, we're going to make some more films. We've got this transvestite ghost. We've got
Mm.
this bride woman. That our main character is now a ghost. And I mean, I looked at it and I thought, right, I know what the second film is going to be. Like, the little kid's going to have to go and get his dad now.
Mm.
Like, and
Well, that's the most disappointing thing, realizing that he's going to be in it. You're going to have to watch him for a bloody second film after seeing him in this one.
I didn't dislike him as much as everyone else did. I just think it was a really rubbish. I think it was a very poorly written part, and I'm not going to watch it again. But I'd be interested for someone who's seen it twice, if they think that his performance changes after he gets dehypnotized or whatever the expression is, and before that he's kind of like a half man.
What did your partner think of it? Because obviously you watched it with her. Did she like it?
Of course, she liked it.
Okay.
She likes this kind of nonsense.
Okay.
She likes being scared and things like that, and she takes great enjoyment in the fact that I don't really understand how to process being scared because
all the popcorn was going up in the air as you were watching it and all that stuff.
on that jump scare in the kitchen, I literally jumped up into a stance, like ready to go.
I wish I could have seen that, man. That would have been hilarious.
Like Jackie, like how Bruce Lee does those kind of eyes.
Yeah.
It's like looking around, like I'm ready. Like it's how it like affects your sort of like your biochemistry, isn't it? You either want to run away or something like this. And I don't know if Sarah, she thinks it's all very exciting for her, but for me, I just want to fight these things.
Yeah.
Like, so when I see that little Twinkie demon, I can take it straight down. I don't care about his knives and stuff. I am getting him. And then the whole film like falls apart. An old woman, Loki, couple of sisters from the 1930s, no problems. I'm taking them all out.
I'll probably watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose at some point, but just not yet.
No, that is too scary.
I'll watch it.
Have you never seen it?
No, I've seen it once. I saw it once when I was in college, but I want to watch it again.
I've seen it twice.
It's one of the scariest films I've ever watched.
I agree with you. The only thing I'd say is that Emily Rose is played by the same actress who is Dexter's sister in Dexter, and which I like Dexter.
Okay.
And the sister's character is a very kind of like bolshy, sweary woman, and it did affect how I saw it again, seeing her being presented as so innocent and virginal.
Dexter's fantastic. It's a great series.
Ended badly, I believe.
Yeah.
Speaking of things ending badly, we've done an hour. I think that's enough, innit?
It's enough. I just want to say thank you to Agile Beast 21. Thanks to Tully. Thanks to Bilal for tuning in. It's been enjoyable, very enjoyable to speak about this. And I just want to apologize for not doing it sooner. Obviously, work has kind of been kicking my ass recently. So,
are we good for? Do you think Monday?
Monday we should be fine because I'm back on the 13th of this month, so I've got some time on my hands.
Nice. I found it difficult watching this on Sunday and now having to talk about it on Thursday.
Yeah, I respect that. But I appreciate you because it's your time at the end of the day. So.
And also, I'm also absolutely knackered, as I'm sure everyone could tell, because I've been at training and things, and I don't want to talk about Insidious for 2 hours. I just can't.
Neither do I.
All right, so we're watching The Thing this weekend.
Yeah, we'll watch The Thing this weekend.
Right, do you watch these films all in one go?
I don't. This is how I watch them. Well, I watch them, right? But what I'm doing as I'm watching, I'm writing like my notes. So I've got my little clipboard and I'm watching it. And then if I see something, I'll pause it and then I'll just quickly write something down.
No, you've got to.
It's like homework for me.
No, just watch it in one go and then write your thoughts down at the end.
I don't like doing it like that. But
all right. Well, the next film, Tully, is The Thing. I will look it up on Wikipedia and find the year. 1982.
Cool.
There you go. And this is honestly, this is a genuine horror classic. I think Agile Beast will tell you that this is one of the most influential horror films ever made. And it also is the first recorded use of the line, "You've got to be fucking kidding me."
Wow.
Yeah, so
imagine that. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right then. All right, everyone. Yeah, thanks, Tully. Yeah, give it a watch, and then we'll see you next week. But once again, I'll just say thank you to everybody. It's been quite a long night discussing films, but we're gonna hit the hay now, and hope to see you all next week. Take care.
Good night.